Well, hello everybody and welcome to another edition of Wolfie's Wheels. It's been some time since I put anything out that was new, mainly due to the lockdown, and it's been very restricted in what I can achieve, what I can do with the cars, and hasn't put me necessarily in such a good place mentally. But I thought I'd probably put a quick film together today, being the 20th of February, and a quick update on what's going on with the Wolfie's Wheels fleet. So without further ado, we'll just kind of get into that, and I'll tell you about the current situation with the various cars. First car off the blocks, as it were, is BOF the Skoda, the 2019 Skoda Superb diesel estate L&K edition. Continues to provide sterling service. It's a lovely car. Hardly used. I realised earlier this year that in 6 weeks I'd driven it literally half a mile from where I parked it off site home, and that was it. So since then it's done a couple of shopping trips, but that's all. But it has been cleaned, continues to look great, and is a super car. So not really much to say about BOF the Skoda. Next one off the rank is Raymond the 2CV, the 1987 2CV Special, which I've had a lot of fun with last year. I only got that car last May, and it's been great. Very sadly, I've not been able to use it due to the lockdown since I think the last time I actually went anywhere, and it was the 25th of October, which is a lifetime away really. I've tinkered with it in the garage. I've enjoyed doing that, and it's sort of rekindled some of the passion I had for messing about with cars and mechanical things, not electrical things, good grief. So I did quite enjoy doing that, and there's a couple of videos on the channel when I had a problem starting the car. Not a lot more to say, just heard that the 2CV World meeting in Switzerland's been cancelled, so that's now off the agenda of trips to do this year. But I'm sure we'll find plenty else to get on with and have fun at. Yeah, I mean, with Raymond, I still think he's running a bit rich and could probably do with what I'd call a professional service as opposed to me doing it. So I think certainly once lockdown eases and we can get out and about a bit more, I will be taking it to one of the local specialists to give it a good going through, a good servicing, because I think he'd definitely benefit from that. And the other thing I want to do to Raymond is to put some new wheels on him. The tyres are great, but the wheels are probably just past their best. There's a couple of flats on the rims where they've been hammered out in the past. They're not desperately expensive, so I think I'm going to treat Raymond to a set of new wheels, just the standard wheels, later this year. The other thing that Raymond really could desperately do with is a wash, but it's been really cold up here recently, and now today it's nice and warm, but it's now wet. So I think that's the next thing on the agenda, is to give Raymond a good wash. The next car to talk about is the Zoe, which has very much been the go-to car over the past few months. We haven't really been anywhere other than to the shops, and it's ideal for that. But we have noticed the winter range has dropped off considerably in the car. In the summer we were regularly seeing a range on 100% charge of 250-260 miles, very much in line with the published figures. But in the colder weather, that range has been sort of 100% charge has been 130 miles, which is perfectly adequate for our needs. We have home charging and we're not going far in the car. But it's something I certainly wasn't aware of, the amount of drop-off that you see in the winter. But it's just something to be aware of. But overall, the build quality still grinds my gears. It rattles and so on, but it is what it is. Yeah, I don't think I'd have another one, but I don't regret buying this one, if you see what I mean. So this brings us on to what's happened with the Morgan. People might know the Morgan's been sold. Frankly, I had to get rid of it. It was in many ways a special car, but it did get recovered on a flatbed recovery truck 4 times in 2,500 miles, and I couldn't put up with that. I need a car that I can actually not worry about driving. The last I saw, the car had been sold to a guy in Germany, having been fixed by the dealer. Hopefully the dealer did manage to fix it to the new owner's satisfaction, and I wish the new owner all the best. But it did leave a gap in the garage. So the question is, what happened with that gap? I had a long think about what I might want, and put a long list of cars together, ranging from things like second-hand V8 Vantage Astons, new Boxsters, all sorts of stuff. And in the end, I plumped for an Abarth 70th Anniversary Edition 695, or Settante Anniversario, to give it its full name. Might seem a bit of a left field choice, but I did have an Abarth previously, and they are a lot of fun. The previous Abarth was a Turismo model, which had 165 brake horsepower. The new one has got 180 brake, and it is a lot of fun. I haven't really had the chance to drive it. It's been the downside. I bought it back end of October. I had it one weekend, and then we went into local lockdown, where we've stayed ever since. So it's got about 300 miles on the clock, and has hardly been used. But it's a great looking car, and I'm really looking forward to the days expanding and getting out of lockdown, and having a lot of fun in it this year. We've certainly got some good road trips planned. And during the lockdown, I have been, quite frankly, incredibly bored, not being able to go out in the cars. Didn't realise quite how much motoring and things drove my my mental health and how much fun it was. So in the end, I decided to also get myself a virtual car, which is in the process of still being put together. And there'll be perhaps some videos on this coming up. I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to do that or not. So we've got here the virtual car. So decided to put together some sort of simulator. So it's beyond a game. It's a proper seat. It's even got seat belts, steering wheel. I was actually quite horrified at how much you could start spending on this project, and it's kind of nearly there. I'm just waiting for the computer to come, because you need a computer to play all these things on. I don't have a suitable computer, and sadly that should have been arriving on the 22nd of February, which is Monday, but they had an outbreak of COVID at the factory, so let's put a delay on it. And ironically, the delivery of the computer is now due on the 8th of March, which is the day that we might just get released from lockdown. However, it might not be the last lockdown, and certainly next winter I'll get some use out of it. So it's been fun putting it together, and it's been certainly an interesting little project. So there we pretty much have an update on the fleet. There's not a lot going on, not a lot happening. Be honest with you, I put this film together because I just felt the urge to put a film together. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to click the like, share it, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. And I'll see you in a future episode of Wolfie's Wheels. Hopefully we'll be out and about in one or more of the cars, which will be great. I can't wait. See you later. Bye.